In this video, I'm going to be guiding you through Chapter 1, the economic problem. The nature of our economic problem is that we have needs and unlimited wants. Needs are the basic things in life which are essential requirements for human survival, such as food, water, clothing, and shelter. And humans have unlimited wants. And these wants are constantly changing, like a new car, a new pen, a new TV, a new phone, and so on and so forth. So we know that consumers all have unlimited wants. However, the problem is that we encounter finite resources. And due to the scarce resources that the world has to offer, this leads to our basic economic problem that choices have to be made due to this scarcity. So for firms or businesses, they will always encounter this economic question: what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. Firms or businesses will need to choose which goods and services to manufacture with its limited resources. They need to figure out the best methods of combinations of resources to use. And they need to figure out who will receive and consume these goods and services that are produced. Now moving on to opportunity cost. Opportunity cost is the value of the next best alternative that is given up when making a choice. And due to the nature of scarcity, it is not possible for us to have everything. So in this case, every economic decision involves a sacrifice. Here are the choices made in the lens of different economic agents. Consumers must choose how to spend their limited income. Employees or workers must choose how to use their limited time. A question they may ask is, which business do they want to work for? For producers or firms, they must choose how to use their capital and resources in order to make goods and services. And for government, they need to figure out the best way on how to spend taxpayers' money appropriately. Now moving on to the production possibility curves. This is a diagram that shows the maximum possible combinations of two goods or services that an economy can produce. And on the line here, this assumes that all available resources are being fully employed. The production possibility curve is a visual representation of scarcity, choice, and opportunity cost at a national level. I will explain this to you in a few slides ahead. As stated before, if the economy is operating on the curve, this represents the maximum productive efficiency within the economy. This indicates that the economy is using all of its resources efficiently and fully. Points inside of the curve represent an inefficiency or unemployed resources within the economy. This means that the economy has got excess resources that they are not using. Let me give you an example. An office has got 10 printers, but only 5 are working. So the maximum potential of this office when it comes to printing is at B. However, that only 5 are working. But because only 5 printers are working, they are unable to reach their maximum potential, and therefore they operate at A, which is inefficient. And for the points outside of the curve, this represents an unattainable levels of production given with the current level of resources and technology. Let me give you an example using Usain Bolt as a sprinter. Usain Bolt's world record is 9.58 seconds in 2009. Here he has maximized all of his resources, and that was the fastest he was able to go. This is when he is operating at the equivalent of point B. If Usain Bolt decided to be lazy one day and do the same run in 15 seconds, this is the equivalent of him not maximizing all of that energy he has, and he is operating at point A. But if the expectation of Usain Bolt is 7 seconds for his 100-meter sprint, this will simply be impossible for him to do. Now moving on to the opportunity cost and the production possibility curve. Opportunity cost is demonstrated on the production possibility curves as when an economy moves along the curve. To give you some extreme examples, in this economy, they can allocate 100% of their resources to make consumer goods up here and zero capital goods down here. or 100% of their resources into capital goods down here, and 0% of their resources allocated into consumer goods down here. This is opportunity cost visualized. It is possible for the production possibility curve to shift out or to shift in. An outward shift in the PPC curve means that the productive potential of the economy increases. To use my example of Usain Bolt from a few slides ago, this is the equivalent of Usain Bolt being able to put on some meaningful muscle in order to facilitate his run. And the additional muscle and lung capacity is able to boost his energy levels in his sprint, which will result in a faster time. And he was able to achieve this with more muscle, which is a body's resource that it uses when sprinting. So going back to an economy, this would be the country being able to find new natural resources, technological advancements, a larger workforce, or just better education and training overall. At the end of the day, the country has got more resources to use, which allows them to make more consumer goods and capital goods. And the inverse is also true. This is when the PPC curve shifts inwards from PPC 1 to PPC 2. And this could be a depletion of natural resources, natural disasters, wars, or a declining population of an economy. This will mean that they'll have less resources to utilize in order to make consumer goods and capital goods. Continuing using my example of Usain Bolt, imagine him losing 50% of his muscle. These will be 50% of his resources that allows him to run really fast. And due to losing 50% of his muscle, his maximum potential to run 100 meters will go down. I hope that helped. I hope you guys have a good day. Bye bye.